Hey guys. Just wanted to quickly come and talk to you guys about something. As I'm walking, I love spending time with nature. I love being outside. Just the connection is amazing. So I'm just taking a walk, but I just wanted to share something with you guys. I remember when I went through my identity crisis a couple years ago. For those of you who do not know my story, so I went through an identity crisis. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed for wanting what I wanted. I felt like I was a victim to the external world. When bad things will happen, I felt like I was a victim to it. When I didn't get what I wanted, I felt like I was a victim to that. And I just want to say, like, just looking back, like right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I knew what I knew a couple years ago when I was going through that. You know what I mean? Because right now it's totally different, and it's not because the external things changed, it's because I changed. I feel like so many times we're just like, okay, when I'll start when the time is right, or when the economy is okay. And listen, honey, you can never ever wait on external circumstances. The least you can do is change yourself. Like Michael Jackson said, start with the man in the mirror. Okay, start with who you are. Once you change your mindset and you change who you perceive yourself to be, you look at things differently and you just tap into what it is that you want. Okay, so just know for sure that you're not a victim to anything. Alright, so number one is, what are you choosing to believe? And your belief systems come from your upbringing, right? So it's all about who raised you and what they taught you about life, what they taught you about things and other people, and it's about maybe even your environment. It's passed down belief systems, right? So it's all about, okay, what did you see and what did you hear growing up about money, or about life, or about your desires, and just having what you want and your identity. And I feel like that's just something we're not taught ever. We're never taught about our identity, and that's why so many times, if you really notice, a lot of adults struggle with self-esteem. They struggle with knowing who they are. They struggle with knowing their value and knowing their worth, because we just weren't taught that. We weren't taught to ever look at ourselves and say, okay, I can do this. Right? If you think about the school system, literally going through school, you're taught, like, when you get a project or something, you're taught to look for research, to get some research, go on Google, what's the answer? There can only be one answer, and I feel like we were just taught to look outside ourselves for things. When the truth is, once you know who you are, you can have what you want. And I am a living testimony to that. Literally, I felt like I had to beg my way through life. Like, I was like, okay, why is it that this person has this, but I can't have it? Like, does God have favorites? What is this thing about? Why is it that they can have what they want, but I'm like struggling for real over here, Like, what is this all about? And I feel like that's really when my awakening started, because it is all about how you perceive yourself to be. That was the thing. And that's what I had to fix, because I felt like a grasshopper, and I felt like, well, I admit it now. I think before it was a little bit tough, but I felt like I was a grasshopper and I was trying to go into the promised land, right? But that just wasn't going to happen, because it's almost like the ticket to go into the promised land and to enter the gates is your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your belief systems, because those are the things that shape you. And when it comes to being a grasshopper, that had nothing to do with like my height, or anything, even though I am a little bit short, but it wasn't like my height. It was more about my perception, my mindset. Like, I just didn't feel like I deserved it like that, you know? And then I would kind of blame it on God when actually God is like, listen, I'm waiting on you to catch up to who you are and who I created you to be. Okay, so once you change that, honey, honey, you have literally passed the test of life. And I feel like when we come here to the earth, to the world, we're taught to, I don't believe that anything's an accident. And we were taught the opposite on purpose. Like, if you have a powerful voice, you probably struggled with communication growing up, and you have to heal that in order to really tap into your power. And that's intended on purpose. So that's something you should know. So as you begin the healing process, and a great way to start healing is definitely through journaling. It's through the workbooks that I have available. Those will really, really assist you. And a little bit of meditation. Like, once you just write down your feelings and you write down what's going on, the healing process starts. And it starts with you making a decision to heal. It's choosing to heal, and it's admitting that you do need to heal. You do need to talk to someone. So if you believe in therapy, I know that's a topic that's going around. If you believe in therapy, you think you need a therapist, and go for it. 100%, you know? But otherwise, I do have resources available because I was there a couple years ago. I was there, you know? I felt worthless. I felt like I have to surrender to what's going on, and I just have to accept life, and there's nothing I can do about it. Crazy thing is, I remember some time ago someone said 90% of the things that happen to you are things you can't control, and 10% of the things you can control. And I'm like, nah. Nah. Like, I believe the opposite. And once again, it's not about controlling the external world or the economy or the government. It's controlling how you choose to respond to that. It's controlling your mind, controlling your negative thoughts, controlling, yeah, you're controlling yourself. I mean, that's the only thing you can control, but that's the 90%. Because as you start to be more self-aware about who you are and how you move, the external world changes for you. Did you know that? Right, I think it was like 2 years ago we went through a pandemic, right? A lot of businesses shut down. A lot of people passed away, you know, RIP to those people. It really did some hard damage on them. But I know some people that skyrocketed during that time. They made more money during that time. They increased their sales during that time. You know, they found love during that time. And it's not a bash to anyone, but it's all about who you believe that you are and your perception. And when external things happen, like I said, you can't control them, but you can control yourself. So don't allow yourself to be controlled by it, right? Because there's nothing you can do about it. No matter how many times you whine or you complain, there's literally nothing you can do about it. But you can do something about yourself. So the pandemic happened to everyone, right? But people came out of it differently. Like I said, like my mentors, the mentors that I have, their businesses skyrocketed. You know, I feel like that brought a lot of fear to people. And so a lot of things were on sale. This dog is barking at me. A lot of things went on sale because people were afraid, you know, it was fear. A lot of people passed away, and it was super crazy. But I know people that really, really it was just amazing for them, you know. And it all comes to, okay, who do you want to be? What lifestyle do you want to have? And how do you want your life to be like? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to move through life? Is it through fear or is it through trust? I'll tell you now, even if, like, I know a family member that passed away, but it's all about trusting because nothing's a mistake. At the end of the day, we all have to go. We all have to, everyone has their own timing. But it's just trusting the process and knowing that you'll be okay and knowing that it happened for a reason, And I think also when that person passed away, it was a wonderful family member. That was kind of when my identity crisis was happening. But now that I'm healed and everything and awakened to who I am, I feel like, okay, I think I've gained something from that whole experience. And I'll share it with you. So, number one, what I gained was don't waste time. We're not here to waste time. You're not here to procrastinate. When I first started my business, I was terrified. I started before I was ready. If you guys go back to my YouTube videos, like the first 5, like that was me just literally pushing myself to just get started. But I didn't feel like I was ready. But this was me just saying, like, I know you don't feel ready, but I know that you can do it. Like, I trust you to do it because I know your purpose, right? So start before you're ready. Don't procrastinate. A lot of things can feel scary, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. Okay? So your life is in your hands. You can't control external things, but you can control how you react to it. You can't control your negative thoughts. It's not easy, right? It's not easy, but it's definitely possible. And a lot of the time, like I'm picky, right? I'm really, really picky when it comes to like an inner circle and choosing who I want to hang out with. And I just know a lot of people that gossip a lot. And whenever I'm around that energy, I feel uncomfortable because I just don't believe in that anymore. Like I believe in love, I believe in prosperity, I believe that we're all one, right? Male, female, whatnot, we're all one. We all share the same planet, we share the same oxygen, right? There's only love, there's only peace, there's only God, right? So why would you speak badly about someone else? What's wrong with you, right? Why would you do that? It's like I feel like I'm just so energy sensitive right now. And there's just some things that I can't deal with because it drains me, not just energetically but emotionally. And it prevents me and holds me back from performing in the way that I know that I can, So very energy sensitive. That's not something I play with. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So you can look at your life and see, okay, what do I need to change? Because a lot of the times, especially, this year, people are like, New Year, new me, That's like the New Year theme and everything like that. It's like New Year, new me. But it's like, okay, but are you really going to change after the first couple of weeks of January? But you don't feel inspired? Are you committed to changing? Because it's not just about saying it. It's like, okay, but can you back that up with your actions? Are you actually going to do something about your life? And that's where the real change comes. It's not in saying the affirmations, it's in doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like you can say affirmations all day about, I am amazing, I am worthy. But unless you take action that proves that you believe in what you're saying, your circumstances will always be the same. It's not going to change. So next year, in 2024, you'll be saying the same thing and your life is never going to change. 5 years from now, you'll be saying the same thing. You'll be in the same position. And it's like, okay, but are you willing to change? And for me personally, I have a very flexible personality, so I like change. I actually really enjoy change. I enjoy learning new things and adapting new information. That's amazing for me. But for some people, it is a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, it's growth, and you can only grow when you feel uncomfortable. But for some people, it's like, okay, out of my comfort zone, still not doing this. And so this message really isn't for everyone, because I know people that are still the same people, right? That they were last year. I know those people. But I was like, okay, I want the best for myself in my life, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that that happens. Like, I don't want to get to know who I am when I'm in heaven. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, that's who I was supposed to be. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do, you know? Like, I want to figure all of that out now and do the best that I can with the life that I have now. And I just don't want to be stopped. And the only thing that can stop me is my mindset, and who maybe if like negative belief systems, or other people's negative belief systems. But I feel like as long as I think right about myself, it's always going to be okay. Things are always going to work out, you know? Like, I just really, really trust my purpose. I trust who I am. I trust what I'm supposed to do. I trust that life is for me. I trust that I am unconditionally supported, loved, and adored, and I'm special, and I'm chosen, you know? Like, I had to make my own declarations. I had to make my own affirmations. I had to write down who I wanted to be, right? So I'm sharing that with you guys so you can do the same thing. And you can literally transform your life. If you're the course type of person, or you need to read a book, you can do that. But just this information alone, you can take it and run with it. Like, I'm dropping nuggets on you guys. If you check out my website, I do have resources to help you guys make that identity switch, to help you, to help you really tap into your power and find out who you are and find out what you want and build a strong connection to God. But you can just take what I'm saying right now. I've dropped so many nuggets. You can just take what I'm saying right now and run with it and just change your life. You don't need to buy a big book or listen to that seminar or this one more thing, you know? One more thing is needed in order for me to change my life. That one more thing, well, two more things. Number one, your mindset, meaning your decision to actually make the change, and then the action to back that up. Just like we have both the feminine and the masculine, if you think about it, even in a when you're being intimate with someone, you need both the masculine and the feminine, right, in order to create a baby. It can't just be one way around. It's the same thing when it comes to like affirmations and actually doing the action, actually doing the thing, like backing that up. You need both. It's not just one way around. So just wanted to share with you guys. Feel like that's super important. Otherwise, I do have lots more resources on my YouTube channel. I do a weekly Q&A every single Tuesdays, where I answer some questions that you guys have. So if you do have questions, just drop it down below. But I just wanted to share that. I think it's just super important. I know someone that wanted to start like a business, right? But they're just waiting. I think it's been a couple months now. They're waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for. And I'm like, listen, sometimes you just have to start before you're ready. For real. Because what's not ready is your belief system that you have about yourself, right? But you're ready. Your spirit is ready. Your purpose is ready, right? Because this thing is inside of you. But so many times people just really procrastinate, and I'm like, okay, honey, I started before I was ready. Literally, because I remember that I've wanted to start this since high school. I've wanted to start it since high school, and I procrastinated. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, I was like, man, if I can have this, if I can just start my YouTube channel, like I want to have this. And then this one day I just started, right? My camera quality wasn't the greatest, but I just started because it was the message that was important. I just didn't want to sit on my gift. I didn't want to sit on it, and just looking back right now, like I feel like I started my New Year's resolution last year, September, really. And just from now, it's just amazing growth that's happening. So I didn't really write a New Year's resolution. Well, if you did, that's fine. But for me, I broke the habit of procrastination and hoping that this year I'm gonna drink more water or something like that, and it's just taking action. I think there's a reason why we both have masculine and feminine energies within us. It's for that reason. So we can use our imagination and dream big, right? But also be able to take action so this thing can become a reality. So I got rid of the thing of hoping, one day I hope things will change. This year I want to drink more water. I want to do this. And it's like, okay, what's the action? How long have you wanted that? And how long will you allow yourself to want that? When will you actually make it happen? What are you waiting for? Who's holding you back? Why do you feel like they're holding you back? Why do they have power to hold you back? You're not in prison, are you? But you're in prison in your mind. Your mind is in prison. Your mind believes that this thing or this person is preventing you from making the change or going to that place. Or no, in reality, that's just an excuse, right? So when the world ends and when we all go to heaven and God's like, okay, what did you do? What type of life did you live? The last thing you will say is, my brother said, no. And my aunt told me, no. So I couldn't chase my dreams. That makes no sense. Imagine using that excuse. Hello? Imagine using that excuse. Well, God, I tried, but just the economy, then the pandemic, and then this. It's like, But I feel like that's what life is about. It's about being courageous. Because like I said, when we come here, we weren't really taught to know who we are. Like if you think about it now, so many people don't even know who God is. We weren't taught to remember who we were before we came here. But that's the mystery of life. That's what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to remember that, right? You're supposed to tap into that power within you to realize what life is about. How deep can you go? How big can you play? And I was watching this, I was listening to this video the other day, and I think this guy was talking about 5 regrets that elderly people have about their life. And the number one thing was worrying about what other people thought about them. I remember literally going through that so deep during my identity crisis, and that's probably what prevented me from taking action, because I worried too much. I was like, what will this person say? What will this person do? Like they gossip. What if I'm being gossiped about? And I'm like, But now who cares? But I still took action despite that. Now, it's not that I was wrong about, you know, like, what will they think about me? Do I have a strong voice? I think it was more of just acting and taking action in spite of the fear. It's grabbing myself by the hand and saying, listen, darling, I am your number one supporter, right?